Good afternoon, President Chartrand.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good. Yes, I'm bubbly as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just traveling right now in a car in Winnipeg, in a truck. But let me give an update on my last journey. Of course, I was out harvesting with the crew and getting fish. We did get some 120 bags of fish for our elders, which is great. A lot of work, of course, invested in that. But then we were out for moose. We never got no moose. However, that's okay. Unfortunately, we apologize to our elders. Time was not on our side. After assembling, rushing, and trying to get there, and you only have only a few days. So they did encounter one. They heard it, but he didn't have a chance to see it. So they heard him in a bush and cracking through there, and they tried to see, but they couldn't see him. So otherwise, I end up tearing my calf, and I ripped my calf pretty bad. I'm on a crutch now, and taking me about 6 weeks of healing, and so I'll be hobbling around, and I was at the office the other day, and of course I'm not supposed to be too long walking to great distances, but I was going crazy at home for 2 days already, not working, so I made my way to the office and got into some business right away, and then I had a chance of participating in watching the Halloween activity with the staff. I was so proud of them. About 100 of our staff dressed up, and I'm telling you, some of the costumes were unbelievable. They went all 9 yards, and it was so much fun to see the staff and laughter and joy, and the competition going, and just camaraderie around the staff and the rest of them just laughing and meet all the departments coming together, So, but of course, it wasn't all the staff. There's only probably about 200, 215 there. There's 1,300 employees, but each region had their own events, and it was good to see that. And then, of course, getting ready for the evening event. I'm still so happy about Halloween. I was reminiscing with some of my friends around me and talking about what I saw and when I was a kid, what Halloween meant to me. And I said, you know what? One of the things I'll never forget is I go towards the north part of Sac Bay where the Delarond family lives. They actually always made sure, and my mom and my sister Pauline always did the same. They made puffwheat balls or puffwheat squares. And I used to look forward to those, and I'd be watching them when they threw into my pillowcase, and as soon as I got out of the house, I'd be munching away right away as I walked down the road. And of course, Halloween was much more fun in the context of safety then. A lot of people in their madness have destroyed Halloween a different way by, like apples. No people give apples no more because of people putting razor blades in there and different things, for the destruction really of Halloween. And so, but it's still good to see so many kids that came out, and we had actually 100, probably about close to 150, and I'm so proud of that. And we had in my neighborhood now, we're getting more families that have moved in, and I'm the older person around probably the neighborhood now. But a lot of these kids have come from all over there, and a lot of them, I know their family members that come from the North End or different parts of Elmwood or just St. James. They come all the way there in that part of the city, and they like it there. They like the safety issue, I guess, and the rest of it that comes with it. But it was really good, and I know Halloween in the North End is also good because Free took out their kids went out with their friends, and apparently they had a good time. So
I had about 100 kids at my place, including your grandson showed up at my door.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, he's like, hey, give me a hug.
It's so good to see so many happy faces, and I know a lot of the parents, I'm smiling, and I don't remember the old days they'd make you dance inside the house and you got in and stuff like that. But here today, it was just Lauren went out of her way, she does every year, and we had the yard decorated, and a big tent on the front driveway, and lights, and we had our skeleton fiddlers there playing, and it was good to see the kids stop and just admire, and even adults saying, "Wow, that's nice," So just I can't wait till next year because your kid's saying that, So so it's just good to see, and I hope everybody had a safe Halloween. I haven't heard of any negative incidents out there.
Me neither.
And so I'm very happy about that. So Halloween was a big success and a great time for kids to enjoy, and also have the luxury of having a ton of candy now. So make sure they brush their teeth now, everybody listening.
Yeah.
So baby every night. Make sure you brush your teeth. So, but again, it's Halloween was good for the staff too, and just getting the laughter and everything. And I was so proud of them. So now on business, I'm heading out Monday. As I said, I'm wobbling around. I might have to use. It depends how long the distances are. I'm meeting with ministers and leaders. For example, I'm meeting with the block again, the leader of the block, on our treaty. And
can't you get a scooter?
Pardon me?
I said, can't you get a scooter?
Well, no, scooter. No, in Parliament, depending where you go, you're only allowed no vehicles, nothing. And so it may have to result to maybe using part ways a wheelchair. Just because my leg, I can't walk on it too long.
Yes.
And I tore it. It's going to take 6 weeks. They told me, the physiotherapist, I tore my fibers. I'll tell you something I've never experienced. I played hockey, I played baseball, all these things my younger days. And when that tear happened, because I was carrying this big log, and I stepped into a hole. And as I was going forward, I can actually feel the tear in my leg, like if somebody's tearing a cloth,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that hurt. I'm telling you, I was in shock. But now it's going to take about 6 weeks of healing, so people see me hobbling around. Don't feel sorry for me. It was an accident, and I was out there to do my part, and I love going out there and harvesting for our elders and so forth, and especially getting the fish. I know Derek always looks forward to that, because as soon as he gets the wood to their house, he said, "Where's the fish?" So we'll have bags for sure for some. Of course, not all of them.
Yeah.
So we deliver over 400 households, and we only probably have about 120 bags. But I still lots. Trust me, it's a lot of fish. But again, I'm just proud that to be part of that experience still at my age. I want to still continue doing it. And, I'll tell you something amazing for people listening. A little off topic of work, but my of course I'm a diabetic. I'm taking metformin too. I'm a diabetes 2 diabetic, and when I'm out there, my sugar just drops. Like, I guess all the stress is gone, and I'm just in nature, right? My stress just drops right down to, I'm usually at 8, 9, and which is kind of high. You got to try to be between 5 and 7. My blood sugar was coming out at 5. So that's excellent. So I guess and as soon as I'm back here, right, I got all the work and all the challenges, and then my sugar just starts to pop up. Yeah. So. Anyways, that's nothing. I'm not looking for pity, I'll tell you that. So, but again, I'll be off in Ottawa Monday. I'm meeting with several other leaders. I'm also meeting with the minister, Gary Asanande, and then I'm coming back on Thursday, and then I have quite a number of meetings set up. I canceled my holiday to Portugal. I was going to go to Portugal, which I've been there several times. So I canceled that now because I can't hobble around in Portugal. So I've already set up a bunch of meetings while I'm here anyway now, so keep me busy. But the harvesting update is very important. This time of season, people are still harvesting. We're on to a big game until January 15th. And, of course, in lands, crown lands and the private lands if you're given permission. And I'm proud to say that there's been no incidents, no issues out there. Our harvester cards are being respected, in which I'm very proud. The relationship we have with the government truly finally recognizing the law and abiding with the law. The law is very clear that we have the right to harvest, and that from our perspective, we can definitely feel that we're not treated as criminals when we're out there. And so I know that our people feel good about that. We feel the luxury and success about it. And so I think it's going to be important that people make sure you have your sticker on your card, make sure you have your harvester card, and make sure if the game officers stop you, or conservation officers, we still call them game wardens, but if they stop you, make sure you don't start acting up or raising their voice or swearing. Just do it in a way that's done for making sure there's a relationship there. They want to share the information, also ask their information, and they want to charge you, just take the charge and say, well, then we'll take it to my government and we'll see that. But there's no charges being laid. There's nothing that's happening in the context of any negativity out there right now, which I'm very pleased to see. Mm-hmm. And there's I think a clear message from our government here in Manitoba that they're going to respect the laws and that Métis citizens have rights. So from that perspective, it's clear that the charges that were laid against our people, they're all dropped now. And so I'm very, very happy about that. The government's going to save a ton of money. We're going to save a ton of money because we would have won anyway. And so from my perspective, I'm pleased to tell our people that all the charges laid against our citizens are all dropped now. There's no more court cases, pending court cases, and we're going to sit down with the government and actually plan the future. I think all of us have a serious matter in front of us. You look at the big game. People are now heading to Saskatchewan to hunt because they're not finding the big game here. Mm-hmm. So what does that tell you? We have a problem. We need to really work together to reinstate the ability to let the big game again establish themselves, grow in population, mm-hmm. and we need to have a plan. So we've echoed that to the province already. We want to sit down with them and establish that plan, work with our citizens, and if we have to close areas of the province, then let's look at how we close them and how long, and what we need to do to work together to make sure there's going to be big game for the future generations to come. So that's up on the discussions with the province right now. But as I said, I'm very, very proud of our team. Our lawyers are very happy because we're going to spend a ton of money preparing for our court cases. But at the end, all charges are now dead. They're finished. So
that's
good to know. Good because that's the way you negotiate, and that's how you come to terms with respecting each other. So, but again, those are good advancements we're making as a government, and I think at the end we're moving forward. Now, one of the key questions I think we're getting calls are is the CSA. Now, of course, the settlement has happened, and the Métis government is working with our agencies because the money has been issued to our agencies to start the process of ensuring that the checks will be distributed. So we're so close now, so close. There's a few things we have to do based on the court order, but my understanding, I had a meeting yesterday with the team mm-hmm. and the lawyer. We're very, very close to start issuing checks. It'll be announced. We'll probably give, for example, people like Renee, who was one of the defendants, mm-hmm. And Mary. They'll probably be the first two that'll get their first checks, and the checks will start flowing right after that steadily. So some don't have identification, and already we're reaching out to that, working with the province. The province has been very open, working with the province to make sure that the person that doesn't have the proper identification, we can help get that identification, then make sure the person's evidence verifies without doubt that person was entitled to that CSA fund. So it's working good. The staff are working good. They're all excited. So I can't wait until that process happens. Of course, the legal fees have not yet been announced by the courts. Like our fee, I think for the Métis was about close to $2 million mm-hmm. For our lawyers, and I understand the First Nations fee is about $25 million. So their issues are before the courts for payment, and we'll see what that takes the end result. How the judge is going to rule on that, and but we feel with solid confidence our legal fees are really low and within range of what it should be, and we're very proud of our team working together to do everything we can to keep the costs down. And the more money is saved, the more that goes to the kids and programs and services for the kids. So again, as I said, those are very, very good. Like for me as a leader, like I said, this is the biggest settlement in Manitoba history. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it gives me such great pleasure. But of course, we have now filed a lawsuit. We have not served the province yet. But we filed a lawsuit in reference to since 2019 is what this CSA clawback was. The lawsuit was first initiated 2005, 2019. But from 2019 forward, the rest of the year, to now, they're still making us spend our child social allowance money. We'll be suing for that too, because it's still taking away from the kids, and the province has got to come to terms. These are old decisions that are made by the Pallister government. So what the Canoe government has got to figure out how to move this issue and settle this issue to get it to do it right and get it done right, so these kids should never fear that their child allowance money is going to be taken from them. So that's what's up for discussions right now. We need to look at how do we move that agenda forward, because these kids from 2019 forward, their funds are being affected based on a shortfall of the funds. And actually, there was a talk of a strike happening at Child and Family Services, and several times now the negotiation discussions have occurred. But clearly, we're completely underfunded. That's a fact.
Yeah.
We have an independent report coming from McIntosh. Gordon McIntosh was actually Minister of Child and Family at one time, and he was also Minister of Justice. And he's been hired by our government to do an independent review of the finances and operations of the Child and Family Services of the Métis and relations with the government. So that report will be coming out probably in a couple of weeks, and of course it'll tell the story. Where is there a problem financially? How does it affect the children? And what's the impact? But I will give you some good news, and I know that our families will be so proud of it. I am very, very proud as a leader. And as we know, the biggest effect we had in the child welfare system is when children were being apprehended, and of course they become permanent wards, and they were placed outside of Métis homes and actually given away. If you go back in history, and sold for $5, $10, $25. So, but now our goal is to keep our children with the family, with especially the biological family, and if necessary with the community and the grandparents and the relatives. Now, we have now been working diligently to get rid of permanent wards. One day we don't want to ever see permanent wards where the child is taken totally permanently, because we have every Métis family is a big extended family. There's always somebody in the family willing to take on that added role if necessary to take the child. And so it's no different than my sister Rita, taking on 2 children that she took on based on from her cousins. Like my niece Sugar took another child from our family friends. So as a family, we always come together. So when these permanent placements happen, the family loses all the right to a say to the child. And that's what every parent's so afraid of. And they're so scared to lose their child. And sometimes they're broken themselves. So it takes time to heal and takes time to get them organized and recouped again to take their child. So we worked diligently, and yesterday I was giving a brief. We have 47 last year, 47 permanent wards canceled. So that means we moved 47 kids from permanent adoption.
That's awesome.
And it's over 40 so far this year. So our goal is to one day eliminate all of them, that there's no such thing as a permanent child ward again, and that we should be very proud of the staff at our Métis Child and Family Services. We're very, very proud of that. And yet we're underfunded, and our success is still resounding. And I'm so proud of the report I was getting yesterday. It brought my heart to a warm place, I'll tell you that, listening, because I made a speech the first day we opened. That's got to be 2002 or 2000. That's over 24 years ago. I made a speech. The success of our Child and Family Services will only be recognized the day we shut these offices down. Then we know we've been successful. And so the more we can work with the families, support the families, then of course the stronger the families in the future, the opportunity, the child's future will be greater. So there's not a doubt about that from anybody. Now, of course, Canada was supposed to address this in Bill 92, and we already heard about Bill 92, especially Indigenous governments. We heard about it. Bill 92 is where the federal government takes direct relation with our government and the federal government, and the province no longer has the say they have, as example of today. So that relationship also has a massive investment on prevention care, which means that you start working with the family. So if the family's broken, then what you do is you work with the family to heal the family, so the child has a place to go. Because if you take the child but you don't help the family, then where does the child go after when you get to teenage years or adult years? Where the hell did they go? Their family's broken. So the goal is to fix the family, so the child will always have a solid place to go home to. So that's what Bill 92 is, the success of that announcement. But we have not been able to yet to get it signed with Canada. We negotiated it already. It's 4 years in the making, and I think we filed already a potential court case against Canada because this is something that was promised in the news, promised in legislation, promised in the Supreme Court of Canada. So, and this has not yet happened with the Métis and the River Métis, of course. and we're very frustrated with the federal government at this point in time that they're not getting this thing resolved. So we'll see what happens. If we don't get political pressure, then we use legal pressure. But at the end of the day, these families have a right to that commitment and that legislation, and we're going to push very hard to get that done. So again, as I said, it's been some good. We've had some good results everywhere. I'm very, very proud of that. Of course, good results come when you work hard and you work as a team, and that's when those results actually come together. So, but we have some birthdays. I want to make sure I get them out. I understand Colin Rivard, is he still there?
Oh, he just left, yeah.
Okay, well, Colin, it was nice to hear your voice. You're listening on radio right now. Kudos to your company, Rivacor.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how important surveying is, and let's not forget the battle in 1870 that commenced itself, started with the surveying. When they came to survey the lands they're going to take from us, when Riel stepped on the chain and said, "You're not surveying nothing.
That's
this
right.
is our land." And that's where the battle started. So, but surveying, I know, is essential for anybody today to know exactly the size of their lots, size of their acreages, size of their boundaries, and so forth, because there can be lawsuits after lawsuits if people don't realize where their land ends and starts. So, again, good work to Colin Rivard for his company, and good fortunes. Happy birthday is going out to Walter Chartrand Jr. I celebrated his Friday, November 1st was his birthday, so happy birthday, Walter. Hope you're listening. Little Rich, he's at my house right now, and happy birthday, Little Rich. And he's now he's 16, and he really recognized a hell of a good hockey player. And but you know what, this kid today, he doesn't. I gave him hell this morning, and his dad just sat there, says my nephew, and he doesn't eat meat. Like he'll eat chicken fingers, but he won't eat steak. He won't eat hamburger. He won't eat moose meat. Like I said, you need that protein, man. You want to be a good hockey player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know what these today kids. You know, it's unbelievable. I don't know how they live. But anyways, that's my problem, my family problem. Happy birthday is going out to my sister Rita. I'm proud to say that I think she's now, if not nearly concluded all of her cancer cancer.
Chemo and stuff?
Yeah, chemo and all those things. I think she's now completed.
Oh, good.
And she's on her way to Winnipeg. She's going back this evening, I believe. So happy birthday, Rita. Hope you're listening. Her birthday is Wednesday, November 6th. So with that being said, I will say, again, thank you to all the people out there. And there's a lot of stuff I can report on, but I'll let our caller get in. But I want to say again how proud I am of our team, Derek and the rest of them that work so hard. My son-in-law, John, and others that were working out there trying to harvest the moose. Not being successful, but we still have time. Big game till January 15th, so we probably won't go to Cranberry, but we'll go somewhere that we could maybe find ourselves a moose to give our elders.
Yeah.
As I said, our elders look forward to it. Every time the wood is dropped off, they will ask for the moose meat, and they'll ask for their fish. So, again, my apologies. We didn't come home with a success hunt with a moose. And I'll have to talk to my crew after and say, what the hell's going on with you guys?
We want to say a big kudos out to our Indigenous veterans, our River Métis veterans on Friday.
Yes, for sure. November 8th, of course. Thank you for that, Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
Not my report, Kat, if you're listening. November 8th, of course, the special Indigenous Veterans Day for Canada. And that was, again, worked on by so many people because too many times the Indigenous people were lost and left out. And definitely that was a result of how they were treated when they got home, First Nation and Métis. There was really an unfortunate situation where this country treated with such disdain and true non-disrespect upon the return. So it was not seen as it being recognized even on November 11th. So there was a fight to, of course, have a recognition of our contribution as governments, as nations. And it finally came to be. So now November 8th is a special time. And I'll be somewhere November 8th. I'm going. I come back on Thursday. I don't know what day that is. What day is that?
That's the 7th. The 7th.
Okay, yeah. So November 8th, I'll find a place to go. And November 11th, I think I'll be in Chartrand, celebrating there at the Legion for Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. And but it's such an important thing to recognize our veterans and also the statue that you see removed at the building that we own on Portage and Main. Mm-hmm. That statue was made by the Bank of Montreal for their employees who actually fought in the war. and it's being now transferred to Brookside, to the military gravesite, and where it will be honored and respected. And we worked with everyone on that because it was half of it was on the city, half of it was in our yard. So, but at the end, I would have kept it there, no problem. I love, of course, I'm a big passionate fighter for veterans, and at the end of the day, I believe it's gone to a better place, better location, and where it's going to belong with the rest of the veterans that need to be respected at all times. So, again, to all veterans, thank you so much. The new veterans of today, the veterans of the past, and I want to thank them for all their families that have to pay the price of losing their loved ones sometimes, not just on death, but just moving away and leaving their families for years upon years and then coming home later. So, again, my extra salute to all the veterans out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you for that, Naomi. I forgot it's online report, Kat. Okay.
All right. Sorry, Kat.
Thanks, Cowboy, for finding me. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now.
Bye-bye.